You know, that blue really fits in good right there.
Yeah. Well, you know, the balloon is a great thing because it doesn't pick any water up. Kind of wondering if I should have put, you know, 2 small nymphs on. This is actually a fish.
I see that. Looks like he took the big fly too.
He did?
That's what it looks like.
Well, he's decent. I don't know what oh, I'll tell you what he is too. You know what color he is?
White?
He's white.
Yellow?
He's a big old Rocky Mountain
Whitey.
native whitefish.
This one
You
okay?
remember that one
Yeah.
good client of ours, Carson, said the main reason he hired a guide is to take the whitefish off. It sure seems to me that if a whitefish is going to take the fly, that a trout would do the same.
Yes, sir.
Okay, buddy. Well, at least that's a pretty nice specimen of a whitefish. Still holding the net.
In fact, in the wintertime, as you well know, we go fishing for those.
Well, you know, our kids, including me, when I was a kid, I think I learned to dry fly fish fishing for whitefish in the evenings. This Henry's Fork is a neat river because it keeps changing, but this is typical tailwater type river. I've fished a lot of them, the great tailwater rivers, the Missouri in Montana and the Bighorn in Montana, a couple of examples. And this river's a lot like that. Most of the water is just like it is right now. It's just flats and real nice, these flats and deep pools and runs. The river down here in this stretch below the Ashton Dam has the highest population of trout per mile in the entire Henry's Fork, but that's pretty typical of most tailwaters up closer to the dam. You know, the dam's just up there about a mile, so we maintain a lot more of a constant water temperature and constant flow, and this water grows a lot of trout, and they grow real fast too. But this is kind of what we're looking at, is we'll have these runs and pools and riffles, and you just get all kinds of water. And so what you want to do is try to find these kind of areas, a lot like what we're going into right now, that are flats, and that's where the fish will really start to move once we get some activity on the surface, once we get some insects hatching. And we like fairly small nymphs, you know, maybe 14 being on the big side, and not too bulky. The guides like nymphs real sparse tied. So really all it amounts to a lot of times is a hook with some thread on it and a little bit of ribbing and a tungsten bead, you know. And when it's real sparse like that, it does go down pretty good too. So, but I think what we're going to do, Rick, is we'll go down by that, maybe those next big rocks and park, and then let's just get out and wade. And I don't know, we can just start experimenting and see what works. We could maybe start fishing some dries. I'm thinking I just may stay with the nymph for a little while and work out.
Go out in that flat and throw this pale morning around a little bit and just see if I
can. If they don't rise down through this, then we're in for a pretty tough day as far as I'm concerned.
We got troubles.
You know, from looking at this water here, this run, you know, we can park right up on top up that road, but
I'm just going to pull in right down over here.
Yeah, right in below these logs, a good place. And they've just got that where they've got a central place to park now, and everybody parks there and then walks. So
This stretch of river down through here, you know, I'll fish a caddis maybe anytime because they're used to seeing that a lot. So a little elk hair caddis is a pretty good bet. But where I've seen quite a few PMDs and pale morning dun spinners too on the water, I'm just going to go out and see if I can find a fish rising and give it a shot with this for this morning.
And I'm seeing enough bugs on the water to feel like I want my dry setup. So I'm grabbing my little 4-weight rod with me, because I'm going to go down below Rick a ways.
I'm fishing a little 3-weight rod, and so any kind of a breeze at all kind of plays a little havoc with it. I've got a little downstream wind going on, and so what I'm doing is trying to do a little, I'm casting the fly out, and then I'm doing a little reach cast upstream to try to get the line to go back up and lay up above the fly. And that way I can get a lot longer and more natural float. But the fly usually will go down first in front of the line. That way you don't get any kind of a drag. Now there's a good, that fish threw a lot of water right there. He looks a lot better. That was more of a caddis type of a rise where he comes up and throws water instead of sipping a mayfly. So I may have to put a little caddis on. But anyway, with this little breeze blowing, I'm doing, it's a little more animated probably, to try to get this line to go upstream of the fly, and so that the fly will land and then drift down naturally in front of the line, so I don't have a belly in it and cause any drag on the fly.
I like to get above these fish and lay kind of a slack line cast and then feed the line. It's easier to get a drift over them. It's not always what you do, but I have no idea where my fly is, so I'll just, if he comes, I'll just have to lift when he rises, if he rises. I think I'm keep being inside of him. There he is. There's no way I could see my fly. I just had to make my cast, and when he rose, lift the rod. Try to get over here below this log where I can have a chance to get him. Oh, I think I can get him. I'll have that long handled net down here. I just don't want him to go under this log. That would be bad. Boy, he wants to go under it too. Look at that. Oh, he's going under that log. There he Oh, come here, buddy. Well, he's got me in a real fix now. All right, Buster. Man, does he ever want to be... Maybe I can splash some water and get him away from this log. Well, I think he's a brown. If so, that's no wonder. That's kind of the way they are. Come on, big boy. It's amazing. No, I think he's a rainbow. Sure acts like a brown. Man, usually these rainbows just take off and run. He's trying to hide under everything that's here, including me. All right, come on. Well, there he is finally. He's kind of a skinny one. He's a nice fish. He's been caught too. He's got a big, oh, well, we'll see you there. That was quite a fight for a rainbow. He's just hanging down here. I bet I can't get him again. No, no, no. He says, I'm out of here. There he goes. Man, that guy was kind of a crazy fish. He was rising pretty good out there. And I thought he was eating spinners. I got a little tiny spinner. I tried a bigger mayfly pattern over him. It was about a size 14 and he didn't want that. So I put my little spinner on, and the problem with the spinner is you can't see it. You just got to really look close. There was a little splash out there. So that's probably what I'll do, is just walk out and look around and see if I can spot another one. I like to get a little bit above the fish, especially we've got a little bit of a downstream wind, and if you get above them, then you can kind of feed the line down a little bit, mend it a little, and you can get a lot better drift in this currents. These currents are just swirling all over, and you can get directly below fish sometimes, but that's going to be hard because there's a wind blowing downstream. Otherwise, that'd be a good approach. So I feel like this is my best approach to try to get on this fish. And I can just make my feed, even though I can't see him anymore, but I know he's there.
Well, that's the difficulty when they're only coming up once in a while.
They hardly ever rise and you just can't see them, and then there's that one. Woo! Man, is he ever smoking out. He's not very big. I think I can probably get him without the net. I do like seeing all sizes of these fish, because you know they're pretty healthy. It's a pretty healthy fishery. Put some heat on this guy. Come here, buddy. I don't know why I didn't bring my, my net that I put on my vest. Hang on. You gotta get the forceps. Come here. Good job, that's a nice fish.
I moved up a little and got my angle better so I could float it down the edge of that heavy current.
Well, I think that what that's going to do is screw up the hole. Yeah, that's what I'd call screwing up the fishing hole. However, maybe you ran the other ones down here to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is scare them down there.
Was that a no hackle you used?
Yeah, it's a no hackle.
That'd be a good choice.
That kind of goes to show that
I'm gonna work my way up here.
He's not really running. He just wants to kind of stay and slog it out.
I wish I had my big long handled nets, what I wish I had.
Yeah, if you had that, I'd let you come over and net him for me if I could get him over here close enough.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I think that fish is within a ½ inch of the one I caught.
Yeah, a ½ inch bigger. That's pretty nice of you to admit that. That's a handful of a fish on a 3-weight rod.
Ah, that's how I learned.
How long have you been doing this?
That's when I took this Jack Dennis School of Guiding. Well, if you buy yourself a net instead of a bug net. Look at that.
Around his tail then. There you go.
There he is, but look at that stupid little
It's
net.
all tied in a knot. I wonder why I got that going on.
That thing.
Okay.
And then you can use both hands.
I'll hold him here and see how we go.
So you had that net knot in there just to cover the fish you normally catch.
Yeah. Yeah, my normal fish will fit in that. I can fit a ½ dozen of my normal guys in there.
Well, that's pretty fish.
He's a nice fish, isn't he?
Very nice fish. Like I said, it's within about a ½ inch of that one I got.
There he goes.
Well, sometimes it just takes a little persistence.